everybody. It is week 10 of Journal U52. This week it's all about productivity. So I am making a 24-hour tracker. This is a full weekly tracker, and I'm actually going to put in everything that I do on a typical week. Let me pause. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I am going to make kind of like an overview so I can actually see when and where my time is being used, and then I can actually see my free time. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this, and I'm going to show you in any size journal. So it's going to be a little bit of math at first, which is super simple, but it's like going back to middle school. So I made a little cheat sheet here. It's actually in the info down there. If you don't have my same size journal, which is 38 tall, I'm using the Scribbles That Matter Pro. If you don't have this size, you can just follow that and get how tall we want our height of our rows to be. So it's going to go across 24 hours across and then 7 days down, and then we're just going to split it up into the hours. So hi Betty, hi Lori, good to see you guys again. The prize this week, if you do, the challenge this week really is to get started on something that you've been putting off. So I know there's so many things on your mind, and I just want you to get started on them. Like, simplest step, I want you to take the simplest step to get started. Even making a to-do list of what you have to get done this week is something I want you to share with the hashtag. So even pictures of your progress would be awesome. It doesn't have to be a journal spread. The hashtag this week is JY10, and it is for a $25 gift card to my shop. So if you post on Instagram before Friday, you will get entered into that giveaway. And you can find all of the details on Journal U52 in the info if you're wanting to join. I think that's about it. If we have enough time at the end, I will go through a little productivity tracker gallery that I share that's also in the info, and I'll do a flip through. So hi Catherine, hi Denise, welcome. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to do this little math thing here. It's very simple, but it's kind of to calculate how tall we want our rows to be. So I'm going to switch over to the desk view and we'll get started. So this is kind of, oh yeah, if you're here, please give a thumbs up if you are here and watching. That helps me a ton, and I totally appreciate it. So this is to determine the height of your rows, and if you want to do the same thing and you don't have my size journal, I'm going to go through my size journal to show you kind of where my mind's going when I'm making this type of things. So I know that my journal is 38 tall, and I know that I want to make the Monday through Sunday down the side of the page going across, so 12 hours on each side of the page. So to determine the height of each row, super simple, and I laid it out for you, and there's actually a printable version down there if you want to do it yourself. So count the squares tall of your page, and the Scribbles That Matter and the Lecterm actually are both 38 tall. So what I do then is grab a calculator and divide it by 7. So that's 7 days of the week. So 38 divided by 7 is going to be 5.42. So I'm just putting 5.4 there. Round that number down, so that's 5. And so if I did them 5 tall, I would only have 38, like 3 rows extra. So I want a little bit of extra. So I'm going to actually round this, or subtract 1 and get 4. So subtract 1 from this number, and this number is how tall you want your rows to be. That is if you want some extra room at the top and bottom for maybe some headers or some keys or something like that. So then you take the height of the rows times 7, so 4 times 7, 28, and if you subtract that by 38, you get 10. So we know we're going to have 10 extra rows of room. That's for headers and extra space, and then each one of our days are going to be 4 tall. So there's kind of my mind thinking going there. It's simple math, but it's just stuff that I usually like just do in my head just to figure out how high all these things are, but I figured I'd make it easy on you just in case you don't have the same size notebook that I do. So these are all going to be 4 tall. Let's see. Hi, Rosemary. Good to see you. Sorry, you're on bed rest, but I'm so glad you could make it here. Hey, Jessica. Good to see all of you guys. I am going to use a Sharpie pen here. You guys know this is one of my favorites. And I haven't done a layout like this, so this is new to me. I actually kind of drafted one out in pencil a while ago, but I figured I'd start from the very beginning and make this completely new. So I'll use just the helix ruler for now. I know that I'm going to have 10 extra spots, so I want to think about how much room I want at the top for a heading and how much room I want down bottom for a key. And so I'm thinking I want just about 6 spots down here for the key section, because I am going to do color code everything with like work or free time and everything. So I am going to make a kind of big key down here. So I'm going to make this 6 tall down here and 4 up here for just the heading, and I'll just put maybe time tracker or AM and PM and everything like that. So hi, Gail. Butterflies and Tulips. Love the name. So again, I'm going to count up 6 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and get started. And I know each one's going to be 4 tall, so they're going to be completely even. And with the Scribbles That Matter, it is 26 squares across. So there's 24 hours in a day. So I'm thinking I'm going to just have a 2 square border on each side for maybe just writing the time. So I'm going to start 2 in, and each hour will be 2 spaces. We could always like condense your sleep time. We know you're going to probably be sleeping at certain hours every single night, so you could always cut that out, but I am actually doing all 24 hours all across the page. So go ahead and draw my first line here. So I'm coming 2 in and coming all the way to the middle. Oops, I might need to get a different pen. I think it's how it was on the ruler. And then I know I want to use the 4, so this is how tall your rows are going to be. So now I'm just going to count up every 4 and go ahead and just make a dot before I make any more pen marks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if all works out, I should have 4 extra spaces at the top. So we'll see. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 extra spaces at the top. I'll go ahead and close this line here and then start making all of them. So once this is all done, it should just be like a kind of a puzzle look for your week, which is kind of cool. Once you get it color coded, you'll see what space you have kind of available for doing these tasks that you've been putting off, or even anything really on your to-do list besides, work. So I'm just going to follow those dots and go across. And the left page is going to be AM and the right page will be PM. So if there's any out of country people here, we did have our time change today, so we lost an hour of sleep last night, but it means the days are longer now, which I do like, but getting used to, when I got up this morning, I was like, oh my God, I slept late, but then I realized, oh, the time changed. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to leave this 2 square border over here and just come over and put my dot. I'm going to go ahead and put the dot there so I don't keep going and put the dots. So just across, so when I do my lines I don't keep going. It's kind of like my stopping point, because that's always one of my biggest things. If I don't set a stopping point, my line will keep going and then I'll have to pull out the white out. So and this little helix ruler I've had since the very beginning. It is this ruler and a 10-pack of Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liners. I never know if I'm saying that right. And the Lecterm 1917 A5 notebook were the very first 3 things I ordered from Amazon to start my journal. I still love those pens, still clearly love this ruler. But I've just expanded my collection a lot more since then. Hi Sarah, good to see you. Oh my goodness, knee replacements. I am so sorry, guys. I'm hoping that those worked out for you. I work in a pharmacy, so I see a lot of patients that have that done, and it doesn't sound too fun. So now I'm just connecting my lines on the ends, and then we're going to go through and separate out the hours. I think I'm going to do maybe gray lines to separate the hours so it's not such big lines. Such big and like bold separator lines. I just want it kind of light so I can see where the time is. And so once I get done with everything, I'll put all the supplies that I'm using in, let me move that a little, in the caption underneath. But I am going to grab a gray pen, so just a super light color pen so I can tell the difference between the hours, but nothing that is actually a separator, because I will be adding my time slots later when I'm actually doing things. So this is a this is a fine point Stabilo pen. 88 is the color, or 94. I got these pens about 2 years ago too, but I haven't used them since like the past few weeks. Back when I did that pen test, I was like, why have I not used these? I do want to make sure that, yeah, it's a pretty light color. So now I'm just going every 2 spaces. These are going to be the hours. And I am using the original door hanger as a guide. I'm thinking about making a new version with, this is the one that has all the numbers on it, or it has every 5th number, but I'm thinking about making one with all the numbers, so it'd be a lot easier to track. It's in my mind, but I haven't started the designing process yet, so. All right, so can you see those lines there? They're just a lot lighter than the black and not as, they don't stand out as much, so I can still maybe write over them if I need to. So let me know how you guys are watching this. If you're watching it on your phone or on a tablet, on your laptop, PC, desktop computer. I'm just curious, just for my own personal research purposes. And if you decide to make a layout with this, definitely share it with me, because these are the ones that I like sharing with everybody. All right, cool. Mac users. Love it. I'm a Mac. I've been an iPhone user for a while. I did switch over to the Samsung like a few years in, and now I'm back to iPhone and love it. Now I have all my computers or iMacs. I just love it. Everything's just seamless, and it wasn't too big of a learning curve is what I was just kind of scared of. All right, so now I'm going to label everything. So this is the fun part with all the lettering. Let's do I'll do the hard tip Suki pen. And I'm going to start with AM over here. This is going to be 12 o'clock. And I'm just going to write it over the top like that. I'm working on an expanded, I just totally wrote the wrong, well, I don't know why I'm counting down. I think it's because I started at 12, but that should be a 1, 2, etc. instead of 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So, I like the Fire TV Rosemary. That is, gotta find the whiteout. That's what I get for, always happens live, right? So, since the 1 is kind of already there, and then I'll fully cover this up. And we'll start again. I think it's the talking and drawing thing. So this is going to be 2, and it's kind of hard to push down once I've used the whiteout on it. This is sleep time anyway. Four, 5. So all of the top of my numbers are just lining up with that row just right above it, and then just coming down just a little bit into the box. Okay, start again, not make the same mistake again. So 1, this is the PM side. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to live draw next week. I have family coming down to the beach about 2 hours away from me, so I'm going to go see them, but maybe I could do it Saturday. I just don't know how the turnout would be if I did it on Saturday, so. Let's see. What? Betty, don't tell me that. I've never heard of that, ebth.com. I'm going to have to check that out. I need to get my brother he's going to college next year, so I need to get him a new laptop. They've been getting them, the schools actually provide them here, which is amazing. How should I do the headers? I'm going to do them, I do want to, I could totally use some stamps or something, but I think I'm going to letter them. And you can always start with Sunday. I know American calendars start with Sunday, but since I've been making my own, since I've been bullet journaling, I've always started with Monday just so I can kind of keep the weekends together. But it's a personal preference. What do you guys start your calendars with? Do you guys make weekly spreads? And I know a lot of us start it with Monday, but it's not very common in the U.S. Alright, so there are the headers for each day. I am actually doing if you want to tune in, if you're following me on Instagram this week, I think I'm going to do it this week. I wrote in a different pen each day. So I did this real-time speed, and I'm going to post them on Instagram, but I did Monday, Tuesday, all the way through Sunday. So each day is going to be a different pen with a different lettering style. So if you want to tune into Instagram, I'm going to start posting those tomorrow and post them throughout the week. Something kind of different on YouTube with lettering, kind of fun. So the next thing I want to do, I do share, if you look in the caption of this video, there is, and I sent it out in the newsletter, there's some examples of some of the things that some of the time trackers that I've used before. So down here, I'm going to do a key of how I'm spending the time, and then up here, I'm just going to do a little header. So I think I'll grab I want a stencil. Let's grab, and my brother's still undecided on his school. We were thinking Auburn, which is where I went, and my mom and grandfather and aunt and uncle, we all went there, but he's a diehard Auburn fan. But he's still undecided. He's a math kid, just like me. So he's thinking engineering, which Auburn has a good engineering school, but there's also a good one up in Huntsville. So he's kind of thought about going up there, which is in North Alabama. So we shall see. So I'm going to make a few different circles, and these will be maybe for color coding my time. So you could make squares if you want to. If you don't have a circle stencil, you can just use some squares. I am going to, because I think I'll do 6 different ones. I could always expand it over here if I have any other ideas for them. I'm using the 3/8 size stencil here. I love this circle thing. I've been using it a lot more than usual. So let me see. I'm just going to kind of guess. I was going to measure it out, but it's not a big deal to be perfect. Okay, so I have 6 equal size little circles down here. This is going to be the separate little key section. And you could do colors here, or you can do, and this circle stencil is from Amazon. And so once the video is over, I'll post it in the info here. I do have a supplies page with all of everything pretty much that I use consistently on it, and that is listed there. But once I get done with the video, I never know what I'm using before I do a live, so once I get done, I'll add that underneath. So how do we spend most of our day? The very first thing I'm going to put is sleep. So I'm just using the Sharpie pen here and just kind of making the tall letters. And this is great. It's only been 30 minutes, so we should have time for a quick flip through. I have added some stuff in this journal since last one. So sleep, work, and you can just come up with whatever kind of categories you want. Let me see what I did on, I know I'd spend a lot of time on the blog, so I will put blog here. And then I'll put some, you definitely need time for you time if you have, if you can. I know there's a lot of, so I'm going to call that one, let's see. I'll put fun. So this is going to be like me time, or like just kind of free time. So fun or free time you can put here. This is the one, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. This is the time tracker one time that I did just my whole week, and it's just like a simple timeline style, but I did different colors here with blog, other, it looks like creating, sleeping, working, and personal. So those were the different color keys that I used there. So anyways, just to give you some ideas. And then I also wanted to show you, I'll show you it actually in person. I do have a picture of it posted, but I actually framed this one just because I love it a lot. This is my ideal day, so I made this on just like a big giant piece of paper, but see, instead of using colors, I use different patterns. So I use sleep, social, work, relax, eating, driving, creating, and other. So there's all different kinds. Make sure you do include the other, just because there's always something that's different about it. And I did put this in a circular tracker. So this is more my ideal day, not my typical day. And it has everything there with AM and PM split up. But the White Lines people over at White Lines Paper actually asked me to make a cover for them. So this is actually the cover. They sent me a few copies. Unfortunately, you can't select to get this one shipped. I think it's just like a luck thing if you order it from their website. But I was super excited that they asked me to collaborate. So I created that ideal day spread for them. And White Lines is a really cool company. It's one of those where this paper is kind of smart. So if you have your iPhone app, you can actually just hover over the piece of paper and it'll download it directly to like your Dropbox or your Drive or however you get that set up. So anyways, I'm going to keep this here and think about what else. Maybe, I know eating and cooking is like a huge thing in my life, so I'm going to actually put that here. We typically cook most of our nights, especially if I'm not working. Well, I love cooking anything and everything. So anyways, this next thing is, I'm gonna go ahead, maybe I'll do morning and evening. So instead of AM, PM, like I had kind of laid out on my previous one, I'm gonna write morning and evening. And then the next one, thank you, Denise. I was super excited about it. That was over this past summer, but they released it, I think, like September or something like that. But yes, it was like, made my day. It was really fun. And I tend to spend a lot more time on projects that, you know, I'm working for someone on. So that was a fun one to do. So morning and evening, AM, PM. And then down here, it's like, what should I put down here? I'll have to think about what to put down here. Like you could always put like a quote or do some kind of doodles or maybe decorate with stickers or washi tape. I'm going to think about it though. So give me some ideas of what to put down there. I might not do anything yet, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you guys how I'm going to fill this out. But I'm not going to fill the whole thing out, but I am going to fill in things that I typically do on any given day. So since each one of these boxes is split in half, you can see I am going to use the black pen to actually split these things up. So I do have a set schedule at work where I go in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm off on Tuesdays from 7:30 is about the time I get there. So that's halfway through the box is how I'm showing it. So 7:30 on those days to 6. We close at 6 o'clock. So it's actually at the beginning of the 6th box. So this would be 6:30 if someone started at 6:30. This is going to be 6. So I am going to go over those gray lines that I have put there. So that's another good thing about the gray lines. And so now I have kind of that time blocked time because I know that I'm going to be working. And maybe I should put commute here. No, I need to do the other section, so. Could always get really specific and put a bunch of other categories on the other side, but we'll see. So now's the time to decide if you want to actually use color or different patterns. I don't want the color to get, I don't know if I want to use, I think I will just use, I'll use green for work. That always typically tends to be, I'm using lighter dual brush pen color. So I'm going to go ahead and color in. So I won't finish this whole thing. I'm just kind of showing you how this is going to look once it gets done, and I will definitely post this on Instagram once I get finished. But you kind of get the idea of how I'm filling in these boxes. Another good thing about the brush tip pens is you can just use it like that. So that'll be the work days. also go ahead and put the sleep, because that's another big, pretty consistent thing that I'm doing. I'm just keeping that outline, and I will come back to that later. Sleep, I am going to just do in a gray color. So maybe this one, I always have to test it, make sure it's not too dark. Yeah, it's not too dark. So I'm going to do sleep in a gray. Oops. And I try and get up at 5 on days I'm working. Sleep a little bit later on weekends, and but that means those days that I do get up at 5, I try and go to bed about 9 or 9:30. So this is a good way to do it, is just to outline it. So the night before, Monday nights I usually will stay up a little bit later, but Tuesday nights through. So ideally I'd like to get to bed by 9:30 on these nights. Same with Sunday night, so it's before Monday, so 9:30. We'll see about that tonight. And it always depends on weekend days. Usually I'll sleep till 8 or so. So we'll stop that here. And then on Tuesday mornings, I get up about the time my brother does, about 6:30. So there's my logic here. So now, and then I'll go to bed usually about 10:30 or so on Monday nights. All right, so, oh, Karen, oh shoot, okay. I will go ahead and finish this now since that is happening. If it is happening for everybody, please let me know if it's been happening for you. Let me know so I can re-upload a different, like the actual version of this, instead of you guys having to mess around with the feed. So anyways, I'll finish this later, and anyways, I'll finish this and post the final result once I get done. But since we still have a little bit of time, I'll go through the flip through real quick. And starting from the beginning, this is a yearly spread. I know a lot of you, if you've been here before, we'll get to some new stuff, and I'll just quickly go through this. So just let me know if you have any questions about anything that I'm going through now. YouTube video ideas, Bachelor stuff, finales tomorrow night, I think. And then my boyfriend has one girl, and then I have one, so it's like literally gotten down to the wire. Tea spread, and most of these are posted on my Instagram with different explanations if you do have any questions. This is the Journal U sponsors that I finally kind of got almost finished anyways. January, that's all I did for January. Journal U stuff, which is closed right now, but you can join the waiting list if you want to on the Journal U course. This is my goal spread, one of the topics. Hashtag research, huge blog post about that on my blog. If you have any questions about Instagram hashtags, all of your answers are there pretty much. Still working on an Instagram's tips. InDesign and Photoshop shortcuts. Okay, that makes me happy that you guys still okay, but I know the quality on my end is not the best, and I think it's just like the streaming. I was trying to make it quicker, but if the quality is not that great for you guys, let me know. If it's not like, I don't know how it is on your end, it might just be my end, but I can totally upload the better quality version. So Netflix shows to watch, shows that I have watched. This is kind of like a brain dump area where I put all the things that I kind of think of that randomly. Ideas for my phase 3. Obviously haven't filled this one out even though this is March. 2019, these were all of your words that month or that week that I did that. Instagram tracker, I did explain this a few videos ago, so I need to update it still, so I won't go all into that. These are new things around town and firsts that I've tried around town. These are different YouTube videos that I've done this year. Tombow pen test, this is the twin tone rainbow pack, and banner ideas. Okay, good, Betty, that makes me happy. This is like a to-do list for Journal U52, the things that I do every single week that I could probably totally get done earlier, but clearly I haven't. This is a new site update when we relaunched the site. I just posted this on Instagram, and I actually finally started this, and I finally finished the layout for it. But I started this week, and I'm sore as you know what. My legs are like killing me today. This is when February started. We did this in a live draw. This is a Journal U explanation, kind of a quick overview. This is a tea tracker. You can see that there's a post all about that, like a 3-minute YouTube video a few videos ago. Layout ideas, we did this. This was the pins I found in my abandoned pin drawer, all the different ones. Digital organization, that's kind of what I'm working on for Journal U now. Story covers for my Instagram stories, the different topics that I made. This is that huge post about all the bullet journal ideas. You can find that. I think that one is linked in the caption now if you want to see that. There is a printable version of that too. This was a Grammy spread and a lettering thing that I did while I was watching the Grammys. This is a pen test that we did. We ended up going over 200 here. Tons of different pens that we tried. This was all the different letters you can make with one pen. So I did use that Tombow pen that I always talk about, the Funosuke pen. Still working on this one. This is a bill and subscription tracker. This was last FM overview from 2018, my whole year at a glance. I listen to a lot of music. This is my monthly spread. Clearly I haven't done anything and it is, where are we? Yeah, I need to get in here and do this. So I did this one live a few weeks ago if you want to try something like that. This is a dividers spread, so different inspiration for different dividers. This was a brainstorm that I started and didn't finish. This was the supplies one we did. Was this last week that we drew this? 2 weeks ago. The different supplies that are my favorites. So this, I finally got back to kind of a weekly spread thing. Done one on just each page. So I did that all for March. And this is something new that I did, and it is how to split up your pages. I made a calculator for it too that I'm going to share with you guys in a few weeks. To split up any of your pages. So if I wanted to split it up in 2 equal sections, since mine's 38 tall, there's 19 each. And so this is the maximum number of rows you can make if you want to split it up into that many sections. Same over on the right side. So this is kind of the new stuff here. These are all drafts that you can kind of see coming up with different ideas. This is my brother's golf schedule. He just started his season. I'm coloring in green if he plays the match, and then giving a score and kind of notes about his match. This is some just practice lettering with Tombow dual brush pen, so the black one. Other lettering practice, I don't even know. This is a hand lettering tips that I'm actually I'll post this on Instagram, but it kind of shows you different things about hand lettering. Definitely the magic formula here is very important. And I found this from the National Literacy Agency website. So this is the website I found this from. I didn't make this up. This is clearly formed letters plus letters placed on a line plus even spacing between letters plus even spacing between words is good handwriting. So there's all different types of good handwriting, but that's basically, if you see good handwriting, that's basically what's happening there. It seems pretty simple, but sometimes, clearly when you read it, it's like, that totally makes sense. But it applies for hand lettering as well. So it's the spacing, make sure it's consistent, and make sure it is kind of on the same line unless you're doing some sort of bounce lettering. So also kind of give an overview about faux calligraphy with the pencils and how to make it with a normal pen to make your letters look like you wrote them with a brush pen. So that's kind of a fun little guide there. I think that's about it. I do have a lot of just penciled layouts here. And then here's the one we just did, and I plan on finishing this up, and I will post the picture once we get done. So I did share that gallery with you guys in a newsletter, but I did post it below too, but it is just some different ideas for productivity layouts. Again, for this week, you don't have to do a journal spread, but if you use the JY10 hashtag, make it about like something you are actually tackling, maybe that's been on your mind forever. Mine was cleaning my closet out, and my deadline is like the end of the month for this. Hopefully it will get done. I've gotten most of it done. There's just like a few different things I have to go through that have been in there for years and years. So anyways, post those pictures on Instagram. JY10 is the hashtag this week, and look at the Journal U Instagram account for all the details there. Anyways, I think that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, I think I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a great week. Next week, I will be out of town. Maybe I'll do some kind of lab on Saturday, but we'll see. I don't know if turnout will be good. Next Sunday's St. Patrick's Day anyway. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Until next time. Bye.